Safe. Anybody hurt? Well, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you live. Here we are. It is February 2nd, my daughter Amy's birthday. Happy birthday, Amy, if you ever see this. And here we are for another live stream. Get your cup of coffee. And I'll tell you what, if you don't show up, we're not going to do this. So I want to thank you for doing this because I enjoy doing it. Don't you, Wes?
Yeah, I love it. It's awesome.
Yeah. Attaboy. So Wes is here with me, and Gail's working the message board. And so it's a family affair. It's a family affair. And here we are. And we got a lot to talk about. Excuse me. I got a frog in my throat. Let's see. Where should we start? I think we'll start with, let's see who's here. Why don't we do that? We got Jacob. Jacob, I just saw you at the Orange County show. Thank you for coming to see me. And it was cool. Nice to see you. Mark. Hi, Mark from East Tennessee. Jim from New York. Wow, James McLamara. Now, there's a name I haven't heard in a while. How are you, James? Dallas, Texas. Everything's frozen over. And Jim Rolfe. We just saw Jim, what was that, last Friday? I think it was. No, Thursday. Anyway, nice to see you guys. Thanks for popping in.
Man, what's going on with your voice? Kill your mic and hack up whatever you got going on.
No, this is my what's his name? Satchmo voice. I see birds fly high. They watch them grow. They never know. What a wonderful world. So anyway, here we are. All right, so let's talk about the shows. We were at two guitar shows. 2 weeks ago, we were at the Orange County show. The San Rafael up by San Francisco show. It was pouring. That was the weekend, and it was really raining here and in California. But it was a great show. A lot of people had a wonderful time. I bought a guitar, sold a couple, sold some courses, and there was that. And we had a great time, well attended, some real nice guitars out there, nice vendors, pretty big show. Then 2 weeks later, a week later, Wes couldn't do the live stream because he's out surfing. How did that go, Wes?
It was good. Yeah, I wasn't surfing. I was shooting a surfing competition. I was working.
You were working, and it started. You had to be there at 6.
6:45 on the pier every day, from Sunday to Sunday.
And what time was it over?
We usually got done by 2:30, 3. By that time, the wind is howling and the waves kind of suck by that point because there's too much wind. But it was it was challenging for sure. The sun, being in the sun on the pier every day, it was just next to the salt water. I felt like every ounce of liquid in my body was being pulled right out of me.
What about the surfers? Now, I heard that they were, you told Mom they were coming in it was 4 at a time, right?
Yeah, they do heats, and there's judges, and they surf 4 at a time, and whoever gets the best score, 1 wave or 2 waves combined.
Oh.
So it doesn't matter how many waves you get. It matters the quality of the wave that you get and how you surf on it.
Huh. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you see that picture of Morro Bay where the guys are out surfing and the wave is filled with dolphins? Did you see that picture?
No.
Oh, it's just incredible. These dolphins are surfing the wave.
Yeah.
A bunch of them. It's cool.
Yeah, we got Morro Bay coming up later this month. The surf competition there too.
Yeah. So I bought. Wait a minute. We did a live stream since we've been back from San Rafael because I bought this in San Rafael, and I thought we featured this last time. Is that right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, I'm confused. All right, yeah. Okay,
That was
so
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks. Good God, time flies when you're having Alzheimer's. Yeah.
You know, it was funny that the San Rafael Guitar Show had better attendance than the
Yeah, then
Orange County.
Yeah, I have a theory
interesting.
behind that.
Because it was pouring the whole time, too. So that means people had to make extra effort to get out there.
Right. But
Yeah.
they weren't going to the beach. They weren't going, for their walks and their bike rides and all that
True.
stuff. Orange County was a beautiful day. You got to look out for that. I remember in Seattle doing a guitar show, and the guy's all upset. He said, "Oh, it's a beautiful day today, and nobody's going to show." And he was right. So anyway.
Oh.
Yeah, if it's such a nice day, they don't want to go and spend it inside. But if it's pouring rain, they'll do that. So, but Orange County, I sold a couple of amplifiers that I've had for a long time, and the reason why I don't offer them up to my students is because they're so expensive to ship. But I had a Yamaha G100. If you remember those. They were the thing back in the 80s, and sold that for like $150 just to get rid of it so I don't have to haul it around anymore. And then I sold that little Gibson amp, and then I sold a Hot Rod Deluxe that I had taken on trade for a quilter at the workshop one year. And it's just been sitting around for 5 years. And then I had, this amp that sits behind us. It's G100, and I never use it. It looks great on the videos. Never use it. And when I go to use it, it tubes, there's corrosion in the pots and stuff. So I put it on consignment. I had a guy take it on consignment. Same with my Vibro Verb. Another amp I've had for decades that just don't use anymore. Since I got the quilters, I just don't use those anymore. And then I had another one, a Polytone Mini Brute. He took that in as well. So I'm hoping he can have luck selling those. They're down in San Diego if you want them. I know nobody wants them. The Vibrolux was completely gone over by Ray Latvala, and new caps, new grill cloth, new Tolex. It was great. Looked brand new.
So, are you going to tell us what you bought at the Orange County Guitar Show?
Oh, yes.
Well, we mentioned on there the Jazzica, which is right
Yes.
behind your head.
Yes, and I want to show that guitar because Jazzica is the reinvention of the jazz guitar. So here's what I bought. I bought a Jazzica. I got a 49 175. It's got new parts, but the body's all new, or the old body. I got a 1944 L4 with a de-arming pickup. Those aren't ready yet to show. I got I got an Eastman 810 and an Eastman 910 in gorgeous shape. And I got them from a dealer friend of mine who had sold this millionaire. He said, I've sold him thousands of dollars worth of guitars over the years, and he collects them, and they just sit there. And now he decided, I don't know, he's moving, and he decided to sell them all. And so this guy went and bought his whole collection, just about. And I wish I had talked to him sooner when I heard what he had. But then he had two Eastmans, and so these are virtually brand new. It's crazy. So I got those. I also have a 580 coming in, an Eastman 580. And listen to this. A guy wanted to order a 575 from Heritage. So I put in the order to the rep, Gerald, and he writes me back and he says, hey, I just located two 535s that didn't make the pallet shipment to Japan. Do you want them? And I said, sure, yeah. So I've got those coming in. So here's the deal with Heritage. They're selling a lot of product overseas, more than they're selling over here. I don't understand why they're doing that. But anyway, so I felt very lucky to get this because they're shipping all this stuff overseas. Why? There's a need here for them. I just don't get it.
Can they sell it for more overseas? They might be able to get more.
I don't know.
I mean,
probably so.
There's got to be a money component to it. They wouldn't just do it out the goodness of their heart to, people in Japan need more guitars here, even though, they probably sell for $1,000 or $2,000.
Well, I know when they list them on Reverb, they're a lot more than we would sell them for.
Right.
So yeah, you're probably right. So those are coming in.
Because I'm pretty sure you'd be selling your guitars to people in Japan if they were paying more.
Well, that's how it used to be a long time ago in, I want to say, let's say the year 2000, shall we say, or 90s, late 90s. Japanese were coming over here and buying all the vintage guitars like crazy. They come over and come to these guitar shows and buy stacks and stacks of guitars. Speaking of which, Norman at Norman's Rare Guitar walked out of that. He was only there in the morning at the Orange County show on Saturday morning. About 33 of them. 33 guitars. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
So anyway, so I got those two coming in. What else? I think that's about it.
Didn't you get like you said you got a 175, right?
I said that, yeah, a 1949, 175.
And then wait, then
that's
there was
first year.
There was another one too, a 44.
A 1944 L4.
Gotcha. Yeah, you did say that. Okay.
We'll show those next week. I got to work on them, and so, and then I met up with my friend Greg Delorto, and he has Delorto guitars on Reverb. If you ever need parts for your Gibson, he has the real authentic parts, not the knockoff parts, the real thing, and. That's why they're so expensive. But I got a real education. I got a real education on this guitar from him, and just on a few different things. So apparently this guitar, 1968, these have PAF pickups in it. Now here's the deal. These are PAF pickups, which are highly sought after. But these are PAF with a serial number. And there's a serial number, and they say it's the patent serial number, but it actually pertains to the bridge, he said. I don't know, Gibson was trying to be clever. But, so these are PAF pickups. Now, the ones that are really super valuable are the ones that say patent applied for, okay? And make sure you don't buy a knockoff. There's so many, or a counterfeit. Well, don't even buy one of those. I mean, you got to be nuts. But anyway, these are exactly the same thing. They got a different sticker. So I found that out. And that this bridge, I always said, gosh, why is this bridge like this? And he said, that is the original bridge. They didn't start doing the they were intermittent with the bridges that have the little design in there, and ebony. They, some years they did it, some years they didn't. But we, when I got mine, I knew when those bridges were available, I wanted that, so I got that bridge. So this is the authentic bridge. So isn't that? I found that out. And the tuners are exactly the same. So I thought that was interesting. He's very knowledgeable. Well, he worked for Gibson for I don't know how many years, and then he went to Heritage. Now he's independent. Wes, we got any questions about anything? Or anybody got any comments? I'm not looking here.
Yeah.
Kirby, hi, Kirby. What's happening, Kirby?
Yeah, there are some questions. Spidey Marino. Hi, Rich. I've been offered an early 80s Japanese Epiphone Emperor. Are these any good? Thanks.
I think so. I think they're pretty good. I don't know for sure, but Japanese, if it's probably made in that Japanese factory, it's probably pretty good. So, yeah, it's probably good.
It's Mark Lansaw's birthday as well today. Happy birthday, Mark.
Mark?
Attaboy. How old are you? On the road again. Hey, Rich, what do you think of the Gibson Howard Roberts Fusion guitars?
I don't know. All right, let me tell you something. I did a little thing with Jay Roberts at the Quilter booth. I was playing my 575. He was playing his Fusion.
This was at the NAMM show, right?
Yeah. And so Jay turns to me and says, why does this guitar not sound as good as yours? What's going on? Yeah, we were playing out the same amps and stuff. I don't know. They don't knock me out, but they're kind of cool looking. So, it's got a smaller body. It's a fusion guitar, kind of like a cross between a 335. I don't think it joins the body at the same spot, which I like. I don't like the neck on the 335 being way out here, but so I think they're probably pretty cool. You could pick them up pretty inexpensively. Now the prices have really gone up. So, but that was I played one a long time ago, and I thought it was pretty nice, but I don't know. That's all I got on that. That's all I got.
Let's see. Mike Bryant, hi from Alexandria Palace, North London. Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Okay, here's another question from On the Road Again as well. Do you also own a good acoustic guitar like a Martin or a Taylor?
No, I don't. Guitar ain't complete unless it's got a pickup, and there's no place to. No. So no, I don't have a nice acoustic guitar. Over the years, I have. Once I had a triple-aught Martin. I thought it was so great for recording and everything. I could never get that damn thing to play in tune. This is a long time ago. It was in the 70s. And then so I got rid of that. And then I had a Guild X50. Is it X? No, Guild 50, a D55, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was, I had that. And then eventually just sold it because I never used it. Also, I bought from Jim Rolfe. What was that guitar I bought from you? That red one, that red Guild. That was really nice. I just don't use them. I just don't use them. Every once in a while, I'll use an acoustic guitar on a track, and if I do, it's just in the background, just strumming. It's not like a featured thing. So now Pat Flynn's got he had a 1946 Martin that he traveled with for years, and finally the thing got worth so much money. He said I couldn't do that anymore. Yeah. So he went to a Collins. So.
Remember you had that black Ovation. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I did. Why did I have that?
I don't know. You used to play that at gigs and stuff.
I did. Yeah. As a matter of fact, well, I don't think I ever played it at a gig, but I remember on my, when I did that Skyline CD that
right.
I was going to do... And I played it on my nylon string. I played it on electric. None of it sounded right. So finally I got out that steel string and it sounded just great. So, yeah, I had that.
I have that Gibson LG1. It's a pretty cool little
That's
acoustic.
Right. And I used that on that Stumbleweed stuff.
Yeah, that thing sounds good.
And that's got, it sounds real good for the... And you used to be able to pick those up like crazy. Now that
yeah, that thing has a really unique sound too because it's small.
Small. It's got more of a mid-range thing.
Yeah, it's cool sounding for sure.
Yeah, that is a nice one.
You know who makes? Those Eastman makes cool acoustic guitars.
Great acoustic guitars. If you guys want one, let me know. I get you an Eastman acoustic.
I want one. Are you gonna get me one? No, I remember last time I was looking around at ones on there, and they didn't. The ones that I wanted, they have this one finish that's like, kind of like an antique finish. So it's like an orange kind of color. That's really cool, but they were like out of stock or whatever for that. So.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time. As soon as you find one you like, you realize, wow, so does 100 other people, so they're gone.
The finish is cool, but yeah, they're pretty decently priced. I would definitely, yeah, for sure, like to get one.
Yeah, they are real nice Eastmans. Yeah.
Let's see. Tom Johnson says.
Hey Tom, how's it going?
He says, "Is the Eastman 810 Sunburst that you just got?" Because if so, he is very interested. Okay,
yes, yes, it is. I need to get it out, and I think the fret ends are going to need to be filed away, so I need to work on it a little bit, and then she'll be ready to go. It didn't even have the strap button on it. Okay, so the case. One of them, the case looks brand spanking new. The other one, the case is scratched, I think, just from stuff brushing against it, So, yeah, they're immaculate.
Nice.
Yeah, immaculate. They're like brand new. Well, they are, pretty much.
Pat Evans is over in the hill in Cayucas.
No way.
Right now.
Pat Evans? What?
Yeah.
Good for you, Pat. Over there roughing it, huh? Camping out, roughing it in your RV. So have a fish taco at Ducky's for me, will you?
Cayucas is awesome.
Oh, it is.
And then John Wicks is checking in from Saudi Arabia. Thanks for joining us there.
Wow.
Roland Mueller says Americans don't like jazz like people abroad, which is probably another reason maybe why. And more people might just be buying guitars over there, jazz guitars over there.
Yeah, well, that's
Japan,
true. Japan,
in regards to heritage or whatever you said.
Well, that's a good point. You know what I mean? So that's a good point. Jazz is an American art form enjoyed by Europeans.
Here's a good question for you, Paulo Coriani. Do you have any tenor banjos to sell?
No, I have one. I've used it a lot over the years. It's an old Roy Smeck. And then when we moved, the
snare.
snare got all busted up, so I got to order that, and I've just been putting it off for a few years. So,
Let's see. On the road again. How do you get such a clear guitar sound without headphones? Does Wes turn down the overhead mic when you play? Sometimes I do, not always, but when it's a track, I usually do. But even with the overhead mic on, it still just adds a lot of brightness, the overhead mic. So
yeah, because it's getting it for the monitors too.
right. So, but it doesn't sound bad with the overhead mic on. It does sound cleaner with it turned down. And I actually don't turn the mic off. I just slide the fader down a little bit until I can't hear the influence anymore. And then when he's about to talk again, I slam that thing up. Let's see. Jim Carlton.
Hi, Jim.
Howard went nuts about the various HR models. Mitch has a great story about Howard coveting his HR model when Howard's was stolen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mitch said Howard Roberts wanted his custom, which, by the way, if you go on to Norm's Rare Guitar on YouTube, you can see Mitch Holder with Grant Geisman playing two black Howard Roberts Epiphones from the 60s. They only made, 50 or 60 of the customs. The customs was the Howard Roberts, but with it had the cool inlays, and then it also had the 25.5-inch scale length, and then the flower ornamentation up there. The standard was the dots, I think, or I forget what it was, but anyway, it's real nice.
Let's see here. Got some more things. Oh, Apollo again says, Rich, do you have any On the Road Again reharms on your site?
I don't. I've been messing with that song for a long, long time. You know. I haven't finalized anything on that. What? I don't know it. Like a band of gypsies, we go down the highway. What a nice tune, man. Remember when that song, you heard it 10 billion times, when that song was on the charts. Holy crap.
God, it's one of the catchiest songs of all time, though, man.
It was catchy.
And then combine that with the lyrics of, like, everyone knows the feeling of being on the road.
True, yeah.
It's just an amazing song. I mean, genius, for sure. Ed Jackson, what do you think of the D'Angelico Premier XL1?
Nothing. I'm not familiar with it. I've seen them. They look bitchin'. The Premier, is that the expensive one? I think if you're going to buy one, buy the expensive one. But I don't have any experience with them. Nil, nada. Except a couple guys at camp brought the inexpensive ones, and it was, you know what I mean? But they still look bitchin'.
Let's see.
Now, I've seen the real one. When you see the real one, and there was one at the guitar show, D'Angelico Acoustic, and you could pick that up for an easy $50,000. And then Jim Carlton, you might be able to answer this question. Whatever happened to Ron Anthony's D'Angelico? So that's what I would like to find out, because Ron Anthony had that thing for years. It was actually stolen from him once. And then he found it at a pawn shop, I think, and was able to buy it back. And it was made just for him from D'Angelico. So I'm just curious whatever happened to that. Now, I believe Ron had children, so I think they probably went to them, so I don't know for sure. So anyway, I suppose what we ought to do is you okay?
Yeah.
Sound like an earthquake out there. How to deal?
Well, the gate doesn't shut. What's going on with that gate?
Oh,
They
the
like
gates.
carve out that.
Well, the gate, we've had so much rain, all the wood swells, so.
I just painted that gate. That thing's not swelling.
Oh yeah, it's
Thing's got,
swelled.
Like, a freaking
It's swelled.
huge coat of paint on it. Okay. 2 Blue says, Mr. Severson, how do you play a B major chord barring the first fret? My fingers won't bend, so I bar and play a 3-fingered A-type chord on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's.
Well, he can't play bar chords either.
Well, I can play that one. Be like that. A B chord's on the 2nd fret. What song is that? All of a sudden I get that. Anyway, yeah, like that. The trick is, if you have your hand up here, your thumb up here, you can't. It's hard to do. You got to get your thumb down below the middle of the neck, and then you can do that bar. Okay. Now you can also, if you do this, practice this with your finger. Try to make your finger go like that. Can you see that? Can you make your finger, but that knuckle go in like that. So you got to make your finger do that. So when you're sitting around, put it on the table and go like this. Make that. Can you see that? Make that finger bend so that knuckle bends up. Then you'll be happier.
Susan P says the Entertainer song always brings back memories of Shakey's Pizza, and the piano player they had there that played while you watched pizzas being made. They had a piano player at a pizza place.
Oh, that was big time, man. Back in Shakey's Pizza. Yeah, like honky-tonk piano player, because it was the old 1890s theme, Shakey's Pizza. And the straw hats and all that stuff. And yeah, the guy would. How'd it go? something like that.
All right, there you go.
Needs to probably be practiced.
Let's see. Let me get through the rest of these questions, and then you can bust out one of those other guitars. How about that?
Okie dokie.
Jim Carlton. I have a 1964 Gibson B25 that really sings.
Is that a banjo?
Yeah, it was my first guitar that I'll never let go. Robin Ford found one of a few years ago.
It's a guitar?
He did say he has a 1964 Gibson RB250 banjo that'll drive nails at 40 feet. It's for sale. So there you go, Paulo. You can buy that banjo from Jim.
Andy Nelson.
Let's see, where else are we? Mark Larkins always has a request for you. If you have time, would enjoy hearing you play Wave with the track.
Didn't I do that last week?
Pat Evans has a 2001 Taylor A14 CE with real Brazilian rosewood. Just be careful where you travel. I think that's about it. Trying to see. Any chance, Susan P., any chance of a lesson on Being Green, Kermit the Frog song by Joe Raposo sometime?
No chance.
What is that song? I can't even think of that.
I played that with this girl. She used to love this song. I couldn't sing it to you because I have no idea. I forget how it goes, but I know it's not easy being green or yellow or brown or whatever. I don't know. It's something like that.
Let's see. Wait, I missed some stuff here. Alexi K, how to deal with busy chord changes like moments notice, giant steps, etc. Busy chord changes. How do you deal with them?
Very carefully, very carefully. You got to work it out. You got to work it out big time. I've never done giant steps. It's too hard. I don't even want to mess with it. I've done moments notice, but I can't. It's been decades ago, so I have no clue how it even goes now. But yeah, that stuff is hard, So all right, here's the deal, I guess you got to figure out what is your goals, because remember, everything is goal oriented. You need to figure out what your goal is, and is this going to help your goal? I don't know. Maybe not. So play. Practice what you're going to play. I think that's an important lesson. Practice what you're going to play. You're going to play giant steps. Going to go to a gig called Giant Steps? I doubt it. Granted, it is good for you to be able to play around changes, but changes that are more related might be a better use of your time.
Let's see. Ivo Machado says hi from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Loves your live shows, catches it whenever he can. Thank you for your vast musical contribution. And then an interesting comment, or here, I see this. You see this Nucleus Medical Media person that has the gray box around his thing, or their thing.
No, I don't see that.
Anyway, that whoever this is, he says outstanding tone and playing as always, Rich. I just looked up his channel. Or their channel, whoever this is, they have a modest 6.1 million subscribers.
Holy cow.
6.1 million subscribers.
Wow.
That is epic right there. So whoever you are, Nucleus Medical Media, we want to know who you are, and can you promote our live stream on your channel?
Yeah, there you go.
Man, that's a lot. How did you get so many followers? That is just
that's
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah, I want to look into that for sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
What's she giving birth there?
There's
What's
a
going
lot
on there, Wes?
of pregnancy things, or yeah,
A lot of people get pregnant, I guess.
a lot of animation kind of stuff. What
Yeah.
happens if you get severe case of COVID-19? So
Oh,
it's just
wow.
like probably a medical information page, but man, you have to give
great.
us a shout out in one of your videos, and we'll catch like 10,000 new subscribers like right then and there. That's awesome. That's really cool for sure. Let's see. There's a few more. Hold on, trying to get to them. Lee asks, Rich, will you have any more weekend workshops like the ones you had at the old mansion?
Oh. Who said that?
Lee
Lee.
95757.
Lee, did you come to one? Yeah, he must have if he knew where it was at the mansion. I don't know. We ought to do that. You're right.
Yeah, especially too since there's so many. I mean, you could do a weekend one at rent of an Airbnb, a big old house by the beach. There's do one there.
Oh man,
Didn't you
Well,
rent that one you
yeah.
did for Christmas?
I know. 9 bedrooms with a bar and an industrial kitchen, a big eating area, big TV viewing. I mean, we could have a blast. That would be a perfect
That would be a
place.
fun weekend.
That would
right?
be a perfect place to have one. And it's called the Pipford House, and it's fashioned after the 20s, and it's pretty bitchin'.
Plus, you got too. If you got even more people, you could maybe jump over to the lodge right there, right, and do the. If you had to. Some people if you ran out of room in the house, just have people get rooms at the lodge.
True. Yeah.
Play your weekend concert at the lodge.
At the lodge. Why
Yeah.
not? That's a good idea. There's a lot of self-promotion things that I need to do that I don't do, that we talk about doing, and we never do it. But
Yeah. You need to start paying me more, and then
I guess.
start doing more of that. Because I'm literally full of great ideas. Full of them.
I know.
Let's see. Mark Larkins says, Rich, can you play Calcutta from the early Lawrence Welk show?
No, but I sure it's on YouTube. Calcutta. Just
Rich,
forget how
Dr.
everything goes.
Dr. Orson says, hey, Rich, what do you think about the Joe Pass Epiphone?
Well, they're pretty good, especially for the amount of money that they are. So now I played one a long time ago. It was really nice, but all the parts had been replaced on it, so it was just the body, and it sounded really good. So that's an option, So I don't know what they're like nowadays. I don't even know if they make them anymore, do they? But
they're pretty cheap, aren't they? They're like a $400, $500 thing.
yeah, I think they're a little more than that now. I think they're closer to the 7 or 8. So not really sure. But I almost I forgot there was a dealer there that had one of those Ibanez arch tops, and I forgot to go back and look at it and pick it up. But oh well. When you get at these shows, the thing that is intriguing for me is the old guitars, because they're definitely not making any more 1944 L4s. So, you want to go over this guitar? You're done?
No,
Oh,
I got
okay.
a few more things real quick. Hold
Okay.
on. Quenda Music. Hi, I'm Ettore from Italy.
Hi, wow, thank you for joining us.
He says, can you sing all the lines that you play? Do you think that is important to sing all what you play?
Well, we had an interesting experiment, and we talked about this at the camp. Okay, I played a minor blues, And I had guys sing a chorus, and you wouldn't believe how they could sing it. And then I'd say, okay, now play it. And they cannot play anything remotely close to how cool their singing was. The deal is you are not, your voice is not restricted by these arms and these fingers. So here you are, you got your brain, and you've been singing all your life. You know, it might not be in tune, it might not be, the perfect pitch, but you've been singing. And when you sit down and can sing, you generally can sing a pretty good solo. And then you'd also be surprised at how much most everybody who sings a solo stays within the tonal centers more. You know, they don't have the flat fives, they don't have the flat nines usually, you know, that kind of thing. But anyway, so if you could work out what you sing, I think you'd probably do pretty good. The opposite way of singing, you know, you can, after a while, yeah, you can do them. You know, you can do that, like George Benson does, kind of. Well, George Benson does it like crazy. But yeah, you can kind of do that. But for the most part, no, I don't sing what I can play. But it's an interesting experience because you can imagine what to play in your head. Okay, from your head, it kind of goes into your ear, and then maybe in your voice, and then it travels down the arms, and it's got to get into these fingers, into this hand, and transmit over the strings. There's a lot to go wrong there. There's a lot of short circuits possibly happening there. So that's why we talk about playing something so much that that it just becomes second nature, and it's all connected, and it takes hours, mega hours. So anyway,
yeah, that's always kind of what I thought. All the jazz guys made those weird faces because they're like kind of singing. They're not really singing it out, but they're like, like.
Yeah.
Like Bobby Broom is like a good
example
example
Bobby
of that,
does
where
that.
he's like
Herb Ellis used to do that a lot.
Always doing the beep, 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 beep.
Yeah. I saw pictures of me the way and doing that, and you make the ugliest faces.
Oh yeah.
And so I try not to do that. It's not very pleasing to look at.
Don Milland says, "What's your opinion on repristinating a 50-year—is that a word? A 50-year-old L5. Would refurbishing impact its value? It's in fair to good condition." So making it pristine again, I guess, is what he means by repristinating.
Yeah. I see.
Is that real, that word?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person here, I'll tell you that. So, I talked to Greg DeLauro about that, and he was of the belief that the players all say, oh, yeah, that's going to, affect it, blah, blah, blah. But most people who love an L5 want to get it looking as the best it can possibly look. And so they start having parts replated, have the thing replated, replacing the pickup covers, and doing things to make it look better, which I'm not opposed to that at all. But most of you guys, when we took the vote on this, and should I do that, said, no, don't do that, So I personally think if you save the old parts, then you got them. That's fine. This particular one, I got to get a pick guard made. The guy's making it for me. And I think I'm going to replace the pickups. You see, PAF pickups, when I played that guitar, I thought, it sounds pretty good, and then it hit me. It sounded like PAF pickups, but I wasn't for sure. I looked at them, and I didn't know that much about this serial number thing. So they're. And PAF pickups was not an exact science. They wrap the coils, 8, I don't know, 9, I don't know how many times, Depends on if they had the machine going and if they went and had a cigarette or something, how many coil wraps it was. Generally, I think the output's around 8 somewhere, ohms. But I was thinking, yeah, that's what this guitar sounds like, PAF pickups. So Greg confirmed that when I showed him a picture of them. So they're just PAF with the serial number. So I'm thinking, he said, that guitar would sound great with 57 Classics, or was it 59 Classics, the Gibson 57. So I think I might do that. I think I might replace the pickups. And of course, I'll keep those, and it'll dress it up a little bit, but maybe I like that.
Eliov is here, and he asked, "Do you know Bill Cummins guitars? What do you think about them?"
Well,
is that what you were talking about with? Oh no, you said Collins. Right?
Yeah. Gee, I don't know. I don't know about those. I guess I oughta. I haven't seen one in a long time, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry. But look at this, okay? Let's. Can we talk about this guitar now?
Sure.
All right. This is called a Jazzica, and what they did. Hofner sponsored me. I was at a guitar show, and I was playing, and people would gather, and we'd do our spiel on our courses. And I was right next to the Hofner guy. And the Hofner guy says, you know what, we ought to sponsor you because I'm glad I'm next to you, because when you play, people stop. Otherwise, they just let them look at it, and they're gone. So I said, okay. And so they gave me one of these. Well, actually, I ended up with a few guitars, but and we sold a ton of them. And this one, fella, I sold it to, has taken ill, and he is wanting to liquidate his guitars. This particular one is a 2003. It's one of 50. They made 50 they call this the hand-rubbed vintage antique finish. It's like a violin finish. It's all hand rubbed, and it's solid sides and back. I don't know about the rims. They're maple. The top is spruce. But look at how bitchin' those F holes are. And by the way, it does have these that fit in there as feedback suppression things. Bobby Broom played one of these for a long, long time. So did Conti, and a lot of other folks did. And so it looks like it's from the 1800s. It's got a one-piece maple neck, kind of like a Fender neck, 25.5-inch scale length. And the beauty of the Jazzica is it's small up here, so you can get it close to you, but it's got this huge body depth, so there's a lot of volume inside the guitar. Now, it's got 24 frets. Here's A, B, C, D, E. So you can get all the way up here. Oops.
What was that?
What was what?
Oh, your strap came off.
Yeah, my strap fell off. So anyway, this guitar cuts through the band. You know, it's because of the position of the pickup, it's a little on the brighter side, but it cuts through the band like nobody's business. So it's got a mid-rangey sound. It's great for the that kind of sound. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? So I think it works great for in a big band, this guitar. And like I said, when you go to play a solo then, it's got that, it can cut through. Now when I got the guitar, he had put a Tunematic on it, and it just made it super bright. I mean, super bright. I put this, this is the correct bridge that should be on this guitar. And for some reason, the action had never, the guitar had never been set up. And I thought, what, wasn't I setting him up back then or something? And I might not have been. I forget the history of this particular guitar. But anyway, the action was very high. So anyway, I've got the action just beautiful on it. And so we're going to offer it up. It's got a, this pickup ring was, had busted, and he had, because they were made out of ebony. And so this one is a hard, kind of a softer plastic kind of thing. And it's one of the few, and I don't know if you can see this, Wes, it's one of the few pickups that you can actually adjust. You see those two little screws there? On a floating pickup? So they're like little set screws. You can raise and lower each side. And I lowered the bass side so it's a little more even and left that side up. Now it's got a tiny hairline crack in the ebony bridge. I don't think you can even see it.
I doubt it.
But yeah, it's reinforced underneath, so it's nothing to worry about. And it's got beautiful the block inlays, and then nice binding, and the neck just feels really sweet. So yeah, we're going to.
What kind of what pickup is it?
It's a Kent Armstrong, and unlike the Kent Armstrongs that other guys like Eastman would put in, Kent would give them the numbers, and they would, with what magnet to use and how many winds and all that, and they would make it. Well, these particular ones, I believe, don't hold me to it, were actually wound by him. Let's play another tune. Let's. I played that only because I said I was going to this morning. So, anyway.
How about hearing it just maybe not a whole, just on a track a little bit?
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Something.
Okay.
If you need a song, you could always do Wave. That Mark Larkins wants you to play. I think you did play it last time too.
Didn't I?
But it's a good song. I
like that.
It's a good song.
Well, let me play this bebop blues. You'll have to get a balance better.
just probably remind people that you're going straight into the board and there's no amp.
Yeah, straight into the board and there's no amp. And so you put these in if you want to, if it starts feeding back.
And then also you have your strings on there, right?
I do. I have the Rich Severson set, which is 13, 15, 20, 28, 38, 48 hike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Carmine Campo was asking about the amp, and we actually just go, straight into the board. There's no amp. That amp is essentially there for decorations right now. We use it sometimes, but not today. We're going straight into the board, straight into the mixing board. So that's why it's so clean.
I use the amp when I do Skype lessons. We found that when I use the amp in the room with the overhead mic, it was like weird. Okay. Rich, please interview Kenny Burrell. Well,
Yeah.
It's funny, Greg, the guy I've been talking to. Is that your phone or mine?
It's yours.
What's my phone? Who is it?
I don't know.
Who knows? It could be the president.
Could be Kenny Burrell.
You are absolutely right.
We should. We should reach out to some of these big name guys. They're
Well,
probably
Kenny's getting up there too, man. It's like, God, yeah. So Greg knows Kenny pretty well. So I should have to get a hold of him.
Paulo asked, where did you get the F-holes? I'm guessing you meant the covers, but those come with the Hofners, right?
Yes, they come with the Hofner, and the Hofner has a bitchin' ass case, too. Bitchin' ass. And it's got a humidifier in it, as well as a meter in there, meter, and tell you how much is in there. Expensive case.
Harrow Glop asked, are the guitars in these live streams for sale?
Yes.
Not the L5, right?
No.
But this one that you just got out, right? The Aria, you're going to sell this one, right?
Yes.
So the Hofner and the Aria are definitely for sale. And then he asked, how come so many different guitars and old weird guitars time after time?
How come so many?
Yeah.
How come? What do you mean?
Like, where do you get them? How come you have so many?
Oh, well, I get them, like I just got 8 guitars at a guitar show or something?
Yeah, he buys them, and then we sell them to he sells them to his students. So he's constantly buying them and getting rid of them.
Yeah, some.
And then we do videos on them too. So we're trying to get different weird ones, and not weird, but rare or interesting, older.
Yeah. This particular guitar sounds more like an L5 than that L5. I know you're going to say, what?
Someone did ask, is that L5 a 1961?
No, it's a 68.
68, gotcha. I can't remember who asked it, but that was on there. Joe Kupani asked that. Is that L5 sharp cut a 61? No, 68.
68, yeah.
And then James McNamara asked, what's a good experience level for your jazz camp? Because that's coming up. It's going to be here before you know it.
It is. As a matter of fact, I've got the song list for it. And I'll show it to you, too, so you can have a picture in case you want to review. And Group A is going to do Here's That Rainy Day, Blues for Alice, and Wine and Roses. So we have 3 days of learning, and we take one song a day. You learn we talk about the comping, we talk about playing the melody, and we talk about soloing with those 3 classes, each time with a different teacher. So it's kind of unique the way we do this. So Group B now shares what Group A doing, and they do Wine and Roses, Days of Wine and Roses, Little Boat, and My Little Suede Shoes. And then Group C does My Little Suede Shoes, Meditation, and Satin Doll. So you have 3 songs to work on. And there you go. So the question was, what kind of level do you have to be at? Well, you want to be able to play the melody, and you want to be able to comp the chords. Now, all of those things, you don't have to be able to play a chord melody, just be able to play the melody. And I'm going to give you charts that have the intros and endings, because that's always an ordeal. And then you'll have the now the comping chords. That's something that each teacher, between whoever's teaching, is going to show you what kind of chords to use. And so you get the melody, the comping chords, and then whatever teacher you have will show you some soloing ideas. So the deal is you're not going to one of the main benefits of the camp is you're learning what you need to learn as far as how to approach a song, how am I going to do this? And then at night, what does it feel like to play in a band? And what is your responsibilities? What are your, what is this? What am I supposed to think about when I play with the group? And so that's one of the things that's really, really important. And so most everybody is, we have a lot of guys, James, that are novice. So I think you would do just fine there. We have some very experienced guys, but they stick to themselves. And but here's the beauty of the camp is nobody judges people. You know what I mean? We've all been there. Everybody who's gotten any good at a guitar, they didn't drop out of their mom being able to play guitar. So they've been working on it, and they were at your level at one time. So, Joe Pass played exactly like you once, okay, and then he moved on. So that's the deal, and everybody understands that. Everybody's rooting for you. Nobody's judging you. Nobody's, the teachers will critique you, but being able to play the guitar really well is not a personality trait. You know what I mean? It's a skill. So everybody knows that. As a matter of fact, I like to use this example. If we took wads of paper, and we've done this at camp, and I'd say, okay, you 3 guys, I want you to take these piece of paper, wad them up, and let's see how many of you guys can make it into the waste paper basket. And they throw it and all this, and they throw it in again and again, and so some do well, some don't. And you know what? I said, playing guitar is exactly like that. Now, when you threw the paper in the wastebasket and you missed, did you beat yourself up? Oh, shit, what an idiot. God, I've been working on this for so long, and you didn't do that. And you shouldn't do that with guitar. You don't beat yourself up because you're not where you think you should be. So we try to really stress that, because it's not about that. It's about playing the guitar and having fun and having some friends. By the way, I saw Blake, who is coming to camp. And, well, I'm saying Blake because Pat Evans knows him, and Jim Rolfe probably, because he's been at camp a few times. And Paul and Kevin, those guys, they get together now. They play together all the time. So you meet friends, and that's what's important.
Yeah, I honestly, I went to my first this last camp was the first time I've ever been to it, and I've never seen anything like it, to be honest. Like, these guys are really good friends with all the people. Like, it's this, I've never seen like a group of guys have so much fun together.
Yeah, that's true.
Playing guitar. It's honestly was like one of the most mind-blowing things I've ever seen. And like you said, no one judges anybody. There's people from all different levels, skill levels, and they all just want to see each other get better and just kind of BS and have a good time. I mean, it's all about having fun.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no egos or anything like that. Everyone's just there to kind of learn and have fun. And yeah, it's cool, man. I was, like I said, I was blown away. I'm trying to work on some videos too, because I talked to a lot of people at the camp on camera to get what their favorite things are, and I'm going to be putting out some videos of that soon. But yeah, everyone just has their own kind of reasons why they just loved it. And it was, like I said, it's interesting. And then, like they said, at the end of the night, when everyone gets up there and plays like a concert, when you see, their little concert they're playing in front of all the people at camp, when you see what they are play like the first night. So I wasn't even there playing guitar, but I was there filming, and I saw what they played like on night 1, and then night 2, night 3, night 4, and like to see just that progression from night 1 to night 4, you're like, oh my gosh, these guys are getting better, like noticeably better every single day. And by like the end, you're like, dang, they just made a giant leap in 5 days. Like a giant leap. So pretty cool. Definitely pretty cool. And plus it's in Yosemite, like right near Yosemite, and it's super nice and pretty, and the place is awesome. And so
we generally have the whole camp to ourselves. It's a big camp. I call it a camp. It's not a camp, it's a retreat. You're not in tents, you're in a nice room. There's no TV, by the way. And there's no phone. There is a phone, but you do have Wi-Fi. So, if you're thinking about coming, you really should, because I thought Jacob, read Jacob's thing there. Jacob just made a comment. It was real nice. Said, last year was my first time, and I was worried about being the worst player there. You never met a more suggestive group of players. No egos from amazing players. Yeah, so, it's our own self-ego that gets in the way of things. So everybody's rooting for everybody else. Now, it doesn't mean that you aren't scolded for things that are not scolded, but corrected for things that you're doing. So it's more... It's a learning experience, So you got to have correction in order to make it a learning experience. So anyway.
Plus, I don't know if you just mentioned this, but Todd Johnson has bass players there.
Oh, I didn't.
So you're actually playing with there's a bass camp going on too. So you're playing with these guys who are bass players trying to learn and get better too. So you have a full band, and then you get to play with Gary, which is your drummer.
Yeah.
And
he's the best.
He plays with everybody.
We work him like a donkey, man. Yeah. And so, we have all the bass players. Generally, there's 2 guitar players per bass player at the camp. And Todd Johnson is a fantastic teacher, not just for bass, but for guitar, too. But because Todd is probably... one of the most premier bass players in the country. He plays bass. He plays chord melody and bass all at the same time, just like a guitar player. That kind of thing. His solos, when he starts playing, he's the ones that that wrap it up is like, holy crap, Todd, geez. The bar is just lifted. So, yeah, you learn a lot from Todd, and he's also works with the guitar players one day, one time slot every day. So, and then the guitar teachers work with the bass players. So, it's a fascinating formula. It's taken us years to get the formula together, but it works really good. And then afterwards, we have a big party.
Yeah, as Jim Rolfe points out, maybe have a sip of a Kentucky beverage in the evening.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's cool for sure.
Yeah, it's really fun. So, if you can make it, you should do it. James says sold. See you at the camp. Oh, that's fantastic, James. I think we'll start getting you prepared for it, and because you want to go there with as much about the songs as you possibly could know, and then after that, we just build on that. So we're not going to start from scratch. You've got some time to work on these things. They don't have to be perfect, but you got to know what's going on with the tunes. So you got what? What do you got? 5 months now?
Yeah.
February, March, April, May. 4.5.
4, right?
4.5. I better get those charts together. So anyway, there you have it. Okay. Any other questions or anything?
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah. Mark R. Has Rich ever come across any Jim Triggs guitars?
Yes.
Jim worked for his Gibson's custom shop. I own a Triggs Super 400 Gibson copy.
What? A Super 400 Gibson copy made by Jim, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's really good. Yeah. I had a Jim Triggs L5. Those were from the 90s, late 90s, I believe. Nice guitars. Very nice.
And then he says, please ask Rich to make improv chord melody tutorial for Alfie.
Oh, and beautiful song, right? Yeah, beautiful song. What's it all about?
B. Scott asks, Rich, are you doing anything to limit overuse injuries?
Well, no. Here's overuse injuries right here. So what is it, in your shoulder? Is it in your wrists? I worry about my wrists more than my fingers. I think your wrists are really, really important, and if they go south, you're in deep shit. So take care of your wrists. Make sure you're not sleeping like this, and doing weird things with your wrist. If you start hurting your wrist, you really got to take care of it right away. And for God's sakes, don't go like this and shake your hands real hard. That just traumatizes your wrist if things go dead. Don't do that. Take good care of your wrists. So, yeah. So shoulder problems, if you play like this, which I used to do, and what happens is your shoulder goes south. So now I after 20 years, I finally figured out you hold the damn guitar like this. If you watch Wes play, this is how you hold it, okay? You hold it like this. You have all it is on your strap, and this is a bass strap. I see somebody, it's LM bass strap, and you can get them at Guitar Center. They're like $30, and it's nice big padded strap. There you have it.
Let's see. Sadie Lamp duo. Rich is playing like Red Bone.
Oh yeah, Shine on Harvest Moon.
Let's see. Trying to find some.
Kirby was at camp, and Jim McNamara. Kirby came to camp last year, and was that your first year, Kirby? I can't remember. Anyway, the first year is always weird because you don't know what to expect. But you don't worry about your skill level. If everybody could play like Joe Pass, there'd be no reason to have the camp. Oh, Eddie Davis is watching. Hi, Eddie. Eddie knows all about the camp. He's been there several times. So thank you, Eddie, for reminding us to hit the like button. Please do that.
Let's see. There's a question here. Oh, Mark Murick. Where do you recommend placing a strap button on a Gibson 175?
Well, I tell you, my favorite place to put it is not there, not here. If you have room, put it here on right here. But I always end up putting it right here. It's the most comfortable right here. I've put it here over the years, and then I decided, you're better off putting it here. If somebody doesn't want it here, this little piece can be replaced. It's hard to fill a hole here. But then I think right here is the best place for it. Every place else, like on the rims, pulls on my shoulder. So don't put it there. Good question.
And then Paulo asks, Rich, but is the Roy Smeck banjo still on sale despite the problems? There you go. Sell that thing.
Oh, no way, man. I'm not selling that thing. That thing's badass.
Oh, because you play it so much.
Well, what if I need it? Last time I played it, I did a country session for a guy. And, it was a rockabilly country. And I said, hey, man, let's put some banjo on this. And so and he said, what, banjo on this? And I said, yeah. And he talks about that I put the banjo on there. And he tells his friends all the time, yeah, he put this banjo on. It sounds great on this rock and country tune. Yeah, man. So every once in a while, you need a banjo. Oh, man, I almost bought a tenor guitar. I wish I would have bought it. Jeez. A tenor Gibson guitar from the 50s. Jeez. But then again, why? Why would I buy that? Bus, you got a point there, huh?
Yeah.
Should we play a tune with this guitar?
Yeah.
It's a great place to go if you have performance anxiety. I think the only way to conquer this is to perform, like Rich said. Anyone above your level has been at your level, so they understand. That's so true. And you know who told me that? Joe DiArio. Joe DiArio said, Rich, I played like you, just like you, one time. I suck, just like you, Rich.
I skipped over that phase in like a week, but...
Yeah. Yeah. He was funny. Yeah, and let me tell you something. If you can play in front of 40 or 35, 30 guitar players and 10 bass players who are real good, and you can get up there and play, when you get done with camp, you can play in front of anybody, okay? Because everybody, at camp, they're looking at you all the time, seeing how you're doing. And you can see everybody, where do I plug it in at? I forgot, how do I do my strap, stupid things. But after the week, they got it down. And then, but if you can play in front of that group, you can play in front of anybody. So you're good to go then. And so it's really good for you. All right, shall we play something on this song? Oh, on this guitar?
Sure, yeah. Jim Wynn said he's interested in taking a private lesson. Do you make a recording of the lesson I can go over?
When we do Skype lessons, you have the option to hit just a record button on your end, and then you can. Yeah, so you record it, not me. Yeah, that was Moonlight Serenade, the Glenn Miller classic.
So how does that guitar compared to the Gibson?
Well, the neck it's different dimensions. This is 1 3/4 inch nut width. That one's 1 9/16, which I've been getting into that length. That never liked it a long time ago, but all of a sudden now I like it. It's a little fatter here. This is a 3-piece neck, just like that. The runners are a little smaller, you can see. Now, this was made in the 70s, and it's a laminate top. It's not a solid spruce top, but it has got the sound. And, you know, we were talking about this, me and Greg, that these, you know, back in the day, they were really trying to prove something, and they really did. You know, this is, it's not a copy of a L5, it's a copy of a Super 5. L5 body size with a Super 400 neck. So that's what this is. I don't know if I mentioned that last time, but that's what the guitar is. So it's interesting. I think it's got a fantastic sound, and you could probably A/B it with the other. What I played in the beginning, but let me play a tune. What did we want to do? Wave? Do you want to do Wave on this? For Mark Larkin?
Yeah.
Mark, a wonderful guy in Tennessee, loves his Herb Ellis. Did we do Wave last week? It seems so.
Well, we 2 weeks ago. Gene Cabral asked this earlier, and I didn't get to it, but he's asked, Rich, I have a Heritage Super Eagle. Is there a way to make it sound like an L5? It's 2-act sounding.
Acoustic sounding?
Yeah.
Well, does it have 2 pickups? Is it a floating pickup? What's the pickup configuration? So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, probably. So no way around it. Maybe if we played Wave a couple of weeks ago, why don't we play something else?
Yeah, we'll pick something and do it. Andrew Gowertz. Aria Pro makes a fine guitar. I have a PE 175 Herb Ellis, like the one you did a demo of a couple of weeks ago, and that's really nice.
Yeah, that was months ago, that demo.
Yeah, Gene says it's 1 pickup.
Well, okay, so, that the big difference in the way these guitars sound with 1 pickup or 2. So I don't know if there's a way to fix that or not. I don't know. What I would do is just appreciate it for what it is, or sell it. You have a Super Eagle, man. Have you seen the price of those now? And they're only going to get worse or more expensive. Uh-oh, it's out of control. It's out of control. Now I'm on the wrong song. God. Wes, help. What song was that? I'll scrabble. It's like a frantic race. So anyway, there it is, the Aria Pro 2. You know, for some reason, you know, when we compare it to the Samick, it's darker. If in my mind, it's darker. It's got more sustain than the Samick L5s. Of course, this is a little more money, and there was another one of these at a show. It's rare to find these, but there was another one in the Costa Mesa show, and I was going to buy it, and then I thought, well, there already is one, so I don't know. I shouldn't have bought it. But anyway, in hindsight, I probably should have. I know where it is.
W.C. Ray asks, hey, how you doing? First off, Robin, nice to hear from you again. What is your favorite fretboard wood?
Rosewood.
Rosewood. Why is that?
I don't know. It just feels warmer. Everybody wants ebony. It's a harder wood. I like a darker sound. You know, but that's what they make the expensive guitars with. So, you know, what do I know? But I like rosewood.
Can you play a little bit of Scrapple with the Apple with that now?
Yeah.
Just so we can kind of get a
comparison.
Head-to-head
Okay,
comparison.
The output's different.
Okay.
So, okay, somebody was asking about the frets on the PE 180. I had them replaced a long time ago. The history of that guitar is I bought it a long time ago and played it for a while and had the frets redone. So they're different than the stock ones. A little higher. So that's what this sounds like.
Did you once say you used a PE 180 on an album?
Yeah.
What album is that?
That one with Lisa Ko.
Oh, gotcha.
There's only one song that I played with my Howard Roberts on there, but I played the whole thing with that one. I always said that guitar you don't play, you ride. It's big. It feels big.
The 180?
Yeah. But that's when I wasn't used to them.
Pat Yak has a nice comment here. He says, it just seems to me that you are getting better and better and better, Rich. Listening to you helps program my brain to know how jazz tunes should sound.
Oh, how sweet. Thank you very much. Who said that?
Pat Yak.
Thanks, Pat.
So what's your opinion on, oh, you already said on the frets on the PE 180. Got it.
Oops. This is weird because it ain't got a pick guard, and it's so much different than that one. It's like going, hey, if that's the Invisible Man, tell him I can't see him.
That it's Jerry.
Oh, okay, well. You think I got a frog in my voice? You got to answer that.
No thanks.
Okay. So
the tone is a little better on that thing for sure.
You think so?
Smoother, and W.C. Ray says richer.
Richer.
I don't know if he actually means richer or like rich, or like it's more your tone.
Oh.
Because it's all capitalized.
I see.
Get it? Get it?
No way the other two guitars can reach this sound, even if the L4, it's made of laminated wood.
Yeah. Simon R says, yeah, L5 sounds gorgeous. Pro 2 for the pub gig, L5 for the bedroom.
Yeah. Well, I bought this because I wanted to take it out to play it. That red one that I have, actually they were talking about getting it for a book they're making on the custom shop of Gibson. But I'm afraid to take that one out. Matter of fact, I woke up last night. I was dreaming about that guitar. It happens to me. And that the pick guard was gassing off. So I thought, I've got to get up in the morning, take that damn pick guard off that thing. Or at least open the case. Because that's all you need, right? Is the pick. That's what creates all this crud. Is the gassing off of the pick guard. So. Okay, Wes, well, what do you think? Did we didn't do a lesson. Should we do? Yeah, I forgot about this. Maybe we could do this real quick here. A few weeks ago, we talked about doing it around the cycle of force. Here it is. Here's the challenge. On top is the key. Can you see that? G, and you're using the E shape, and then C using the A shape, F using the D shape, B flat using the G shape, and then E flat using the C shape. And you work out, you end up doing 60 scales, but this is the order that you do it in. So I wanted to mention that. Now, if you didn't do that, you should do it. But I want to give you another 7-day challenge. And this is quite simple. And what it is we're going to play now the Dorian mode in all the shapes. Now, this is what's interesting about the Dorian mode. All right, here is a D note, right? And we're going to play a D Dorian mode. And look at it. So here's a D minor chord. So play the chord. And do you notice that an A-shaped Dorian mode is just like a G-shaped C scale with, here's a C scale, right? Okay, but here's a Dorian mode. All right, so why are you doing this exercise? Well, just so you associate a scale with a chord. And I think this is very important. So here's a D chord, right? D minor. You play our D minor 7. Play the chord. Okay. Now that's the A shape, right? So now why don't we do the, let's go do the E shape. Here's the E shape. So the E shape looks like this. But it's just like, what is it? Just like C the D shape. I know it sounds confusing, but watch. Right? There's the D shape. Whoop. But it's D minor, the E shape. Okay, so I associate that with this. Now here is a D minor chord, and I just play it like this. Or you could play D minor 7 like this. But it's a G-shaped D minor chord. And what does that look like? What is that? See, it's like an E shape, isn't it? All right, here's an E-shaped C chord. This is a D minor G shape, but it's the same as the E. It sounds confusing, doesn't it? But I want you to get used to just playing a chord. Whoop. Okay, so we did 3 of them. Now, what was next? The D shape. Here's a D minor chord. D shape. And that's just like a C scale C shape, right? Okay. So there's that shape. And now what are we missing? The D minor, the C shape, which is like this. You could do it like that. Or just play it like this. Here's the chord, here's the scale. Okay. And that is just like the A shape, C scale. So it's kind of a lesson in redundancy. The only difference is it's how you look at the scale as it pertains to a chord shape. And I think that's what's important. Because when you look at the guitar neck, you see shapes. And it's all patterns and shapes. And that's one of the attractions of the guitar. It's also one of the distractions of the guitar. So you're playing shapes instead of music. So, but it doesn't matter. You can correct that. You can correct it all. The point is, you got to know what you're doing. Try to, anyways. So there you have it. That is your challenge, is to take each shape and go through the cycle of force with each one of the modes, the Dorian mode. That's your challenge for this week. Don't wuss out. Do it. I think I have a morning practice session with that in mind. So, Wes.
Are you calling me a wuss? We probably need to wrap this up, right?
Yeah.
I need a burrito bad.
Okay.
I'm starving. But there are a couple of questions real quick. Michael Batten asks, "Hi, Rich. I love your playing. Would you mind saying whether or not you have perfect pitch?"
No, I don't have perfect pitch.
What does he mean by that? Like,
Well,
with
when
your
you
voice?
hear a note like A, I don't have perfect pitch. But somebody with perfect pitch, A, what did I say? A flat, A G.
Wait, what do you mean without hearing it? They can just come up with it?
Yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah, that'd be hard.
Yeah, I worked with a guy who had that, and we would do a gig, and somebody would get up to sing a song, and instead of asking him what key, they would just start singing. The guy would go, B flat, because he didn't have to hunt or peck or anything. He just knew.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Kujian D asks, says, in my opinion, Aria makes a very good affordable guitars. I recently picked up a 2004 FA70 for $475, which is an L5 copy, made for them by Samick. Also have a 70s Aria Martin D18 knockoff. Both sound great. That'd be a cool guitar too. One of those acoustic knockoffs from the 70s.
Yeah.
That would be worth.
Isn't the FA70, isn't that more of a 175 shape? I could be wrong.
Let's see. And then DC, I don't know who that is, what his name is, but DC says, "Hey, Rich, thanks for giving me your opinion on the ES335 versus the H535. It came a couple weeks ago, and I can't put it down. I've had a couple 335s, but none of them come close to my new H535.
Yeah, there's something special about those 535s. The 335s just sound flat compared to them. So,
and that's the one you said you're going to get a couple of those, right?
Getting 2 sunbursts.
Yeah. Awesome.
So if you want one, call me up.
Yeah, there you go. I think that's about it for sure. Mark Wilkerson is freezing in Dallas. Man, what is that? It's so cold in Dallas.
I don't know.
Crazy.
Don Spain.
Enjoyed lurking and soaking up the great info and music. And then Paulo, we should all get a Benedetto.
Man, Bob Benedetto's a great guy. I'm not super sold on those. So anyway, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. Remember, if you're not here, we won't be here either. So again, really thank you for joining us and making it a nice live stream. And we'll do it again next week, right, Wes?
Yep.
Oh, did you have anything you wanted to share this week?
No, I'll save it.
Okay. reading the comments.